Welcome to Zentangle Project Pack number 17. This is day 8. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria.
And I'm going to work on the remaining 3 unstrung white 3Z tiles here. In the last video, Maria did hers, and this is a chance for you to get to see a little bit different style and approach. I'm not going to be doing it to get it done in like 5 or 6 minutes, but I'm going to follow the same approach and use the same tangle and see where we go. So just as before, we're going to have that lovely orb in the middle-ish in the middle. And I'm going to do these same number 9 or number 6 shapes. I'm starting mine from the corner. Maria started hers from the orb.
It just lets you know that everybody's got their different style for even drawing a tangle, never mind what it looks like.
Right? So I'm really like following that line, then taking off, and then landing on that center orb. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take off on the other side, and I'm going to target the orb, but when I come to the other line, I stop. So you have that leaf effect going on. Do that on each one of them.
That's totally different than what I was doing. I love that.
Right? So this is such a good example because it's the same tangle, yet it's different. So I'm going to do an inner aura of sorts, and it's going to start at that beginning center orb, but it's going to go out and then land ever so gently on that outer petal. And this is going to give us some good contrast for when we shade, and it also reminds me of this flower that we saw that had these like curls on the end of the...
Isn't it Australian something?
Something in Bermuda, I think.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm putting that little highlight in. So I do it a little different. Just fill that in, really taking my time and loving it. And now I want to aura that outside triangle. And I'm just going to aura it.
Till the cows come home.
Till the cows come home. And I will not, you don't have to watch every one of it, but I'm just doing really, really thin auras all the way in from each side.
It adds such nice texture and a background.
Right?
So simple.
Just enjoying each line that you're putting down. And I do that in all 3 sections. And then once I've done that, I thought, well, I'm just going to let this go off the edge. So I'm doing the same auras around the outside, you know, keeping that similar gap. Turning your tile. And I tend to, you know, repeat myself here, but keeping this part of the tile that I'm auraing on the other side of the pen. That way I can follow along where my line is going, and my pen isn't covering what I'm following along. So I'm just adding auras one after another. And I decided to let them go pointy at the end. Sometimes you can make it rounded, sometimes you can make it pointy. And just filling it out until we have the completed tile. And you can fudge it a little bit. And whatever the character of your line is, it will be consistent throughout if you draw the line in the same direction. So now I'm coming back in, and we're going to put in some great auras here. I'm sorry, some great graphite here. And I'm just sort of putting it in a place in the same, like big glumps of it, right?
Is that a technical term?
It's a technical term, glumps.
I have to look that one up.
And then come back in with the tortillon and invite the graphite into the paper. And then just very, gradually smooth it out on that beautiful leaf or petal. And then I'll do the same on here. And you've got the light against the dark, so you can see the benefit of those little inner auras on the leaf. You get some really nice contrast there. And I'm really working that graphite in, taking your time, moving it around. It's fascinating how you can spread that out. It's like a one-eyed rabbit with 3 ears.
Okay. Tile number 2.
Okay, so this one, I'm going to go right to the center circle here. And I'm going to use the outside of the tile as my guide. And I'm going to repeat what I did the last time with those 3 6s or 3 9s. And I just sort of bent my tile so it's laying flat on the surface. Sometimes if it's curled up, then you put the pen on it and then the tile moves. So I made it so it's laying flat on the surface. And we're doing the exact same thing here with those 3 petals. And when I'm coming in, I'm sort of pretending I'm targeting that inner circle.
Again, he's going to use this technique for, it's like a little fold over, right?
Yeah.
Of the petal, which is really quite beautiful.
So I like that inner orb shape, and I'm going to resonate that orb shape out, and just however many sort of fit in. I know I could put more in, but I'm just going to put a few in. Maybe it's symmetrical, maybe it's not. Maybe I have the same on each side, maybe I don't. Because I was deliberately not putting that center orb in the perfect center. Although you may decide to do that.
It's center-ish.
Center-ish. And I really love that idea of that contrast with that center dark part there. So we'll go in and fill the interstices between those orbs. Nice, heavy black. And then again, on the outside, we're going to come back with that aura. Just sort of hold everything together. Pretend you can see the tip of my pen under my finger.
Pretend you can. Everybody holds their pen differently.
And now I'm going to take my light gray pen and just color in the gap. I'm covering the tiles on these. Maria left a big border untangled. Well, I'm going to cover right out to the edge on these 2, at least. And you can sort of see a texture in that gray pen, and I'm just going to go with that.
Almost like a marbled paper.
Right? And it just lifts that up off the back a little bit, has a little texture to itself, a little grain pattern maybe. You can always go back over it and play with that. And then we'll come back in and put down, what did we call it? The glumps?
The glumps.
The glumps of graphite.
Those are really glumpy.
Yes. So I'm really heavy here with it, and then spreading it out. I'm how much can I spread it out over the whole leaf and how gradual I can do it. And once I've done a leaf, well, I'm going to use the graphite that was on the leaf that I picked up and just use that to add a little bit of low light to those orbs. And there's that one.
Beautiful.
Okay, so here's our third 3Z. And again, I'm going to start right in the middle with that orb. And when I did the last one, after I did these first 9s, if you will, or upside down sixes, and I was doing the other part of the leaf, it curved in a little bit, and it was like, ooh, oh, that'll be interesting. So on this one, I'm just going to totally exaggerate that, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. So that landing where you just retrace the orb just a bit. So up here, I'm going to, instead of coming off at a right angle, I'm going to take off like this and just make it like an S shape. So I'm doing a little bit of takeoff, retracing that line for just a smidge, and then coming back down to the center. Just really enjoying that shape. And then I'll put that same fold in that we've been doing. And this tangle, you can look it up on the newsletter. It's called Well, and it was inspired by a jewelry box at the Higgins Armory Museum of like knights in shining armor. It was all these, it was an armory of from, I don't know, the 1100s, 1200s, and that was this pattern, and it was done in wire, and it was such a, it's become a tangle that both Maria and I use a lot. So I'm putting that little highlight circle, filling that in, that nice glossy bit. So now I'm going to take the idea of those orbs, and the end of each petal is going to hold an orb that goes off the edge, just sort of extending that. And this was something that, you know, just did it on the fly and took inspiration from the slight slip of my pen when I did one of the leaves on the previous tile. So anything that you do, just being aware of what's going on and take that inspiration and then exaggerate it, and you can, you know, just have wonderful experiences with this. So now I'm going to go around the tile and aura everything that's there, because this will create this nice standoff for whatever else I might do next. And I'm really liking this, like, intense dark against the light. So I'm going to put a crescent moon here. So both Maria and I are working with this crescent moon idea in this, mixing it with well. And then the shading. And instead of, I wanted this to not be, I wanted a thicker line, and I didn't want it to be, I decided, well, instead of using the pen, what if we put the auras in with pencil? So I'm holding the pencil low, at a low angle, so I can get sort of a thicker line, a softer line. And it contrasts nicely with the pen. and just take it right off the edge of the paper. And we'll do that on all 3 sides. And there we have it.
Cool, right? All together. Same tangle.
Totally different style, totally different approach, and we look forward to seeing your totally different style and your totally different approach. So thank you again so much. This has been a wonderful series, and we've got a great wrap-up video for you, so we'll see you soon.
I can't wait to see samples.
Bye now.
Bye.